Hi, so you've been looking at Tata Capital IPO, whether it could make you money or not, it's a good IPO or not, should you subscribe? I'm going to answer some of these questions for you and give you my view on Tata Capital. So, Tata Capital, right? 17,000 crore plus is the issue size. It's one of the fourth largest IPOs over the last 10 years. And to my mind, it would do very well irrespective of the price at which it gets IPO'd, because whatever is the price band at which the company decides to offer shares, my sense is that the share would move much higher purely because of the demand that you have right now for IPOs, and particularly marquee IPOs like Tata Group companies and companies which are in financial services in particular are right now undervalued. Of course, it depends on where the company decides to set the price band. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about the fact that Tata Capital is trading at an extreme valuation in the unlisted market or in the grey market. The shares are right now traded at 790, 800 rupees in the grey market, which gives it a valuation of around 79.80. I mean, if you have a look at this chart, this is a comparison of Tata Capital's price to earnings multiple with some of its peers, mainly Bajaj Finance, which is trading at a multiple of 34. And right now, Tata Capital is trading at a multiple of 80 if you consider its price to be 790, 800, which is where it's trading in the grey market. So is that a good IPO? Is that a good price or not? Whether you should compare it with its peers, should you look at Tata Capital standalone? Is this valuation justified? If you ask me, the answer is yes and no, and I'll discuss both the things. I think first of all, I believe is trading slightly higher compared to where it should be, but I don't think it's astronomical as many of you would probably look at these figures that you just looked at and wonder if it is. I personally think it should trade at least 2 to 2.5 times higher than Bajaj Finance, its closest peers, and I'm going to get into the reasons why. So I'll break up my analysis in three parts. First would be Tata Capital's current valuations and are these valuations justified? Then I'll talk about Tata Capital's business and what separates it from some of its peers, and why Tata Capital, as I said, deserves a higher valuation in comparison to its peers. And third, what's my view on the IPO, where I think the company should do its price band based on the current valuations, and should you subscribe to it or not. So one of the biggest strengths Tata Capital has is that it has about 250 plus APIs. APIs are basically application programming interface. So let's say if you wanted to set up a travel agency, or if you wanted to give travel loans online or on your website, instead of tying up with 5-6 different partners, one for loan origination, the other one to do your KYC, the third one to collect your EMIs, you have an API which you can plug into your website, which not only fills up the whole form for you, does the KYC, breaks up the EMIs, helps you collect all of it. It basically does everything for you, and the loan is originated by Tata Capital. Now, Tata Capital has an advantage that it can either use a bank to provide that loan or provide that loan itself. One of the most profitable business for Tata Capital is to originate loans which can earn 13 to 14% interest when you factor in the 1 to 3% processing fee that they charge upfront. So how it works is, let's say Tata Capital disburses 1 lakh rupees of loan. It immediately passes 80,000 of that to a banking partner, retains 20,000 of that, which is 20% of that, at which it charges a really high rate of interest, and in addition charges 1 to 3% of processing fee. So I've always said the future belongs to NBFCs more than banks, because the regulation is a little more relaxed for NBFCs. It is not as stringent as it is for banks. So data and origination, that is what will make you very good money going forward. Look at this. Tata Capital is originating loans and passing it on in many cases to other banking providers which are servicing those loans. If you look at the list of digital lending partners which Tata Capital has right now, some of these companies are fairly big. I mean, if you look at the lists, some of these are listed companies which are actually using Tata Capital's APIs for customer acquisition and loan disbursement. Companies like Paytm and Navi and Volt, and a whole host of IND Money, Ola, Lending Card, a whole host of other companies which are, basically helping Tata Capital build up on its business. So, so far I was talking about Tata Capital's premium position in the market because of, third-party products and third-party apps which use Tata Capital's APIs. But besides that, Tata's own presence in pretty much every industry and the Tata New app, I think Tata New app in particular, I think is a monopoly in distribution and loyalty in terms of getting clients onboarded. And I'm sure you've heard about it, unless you're living under a stone, there's no way you would not have come across Tata New, the app, or Tata New credit card. So Tata has launched a credit card with HDFC, the Tata New Coins credit card with HDFC. And in the last quarter, 13% of all credit cards sold in India were Tata New HDFC credit cards. So that's a huge market share. And besides that, the Tata New app basically is a super app for all the Tata brands, which gives you loyalty points across all of the brands, and you can shop or buy something on one brand, and the points you earn you can use it to buy something from the other. So look at all these brands. You can buy something from Chroma, Westside, Tata Click, Fly. These logos are all Vistara, AirAsia, is now all Air India. So you may fly Air India and use the points to book a hotel stay at Taj. So basically, when a company has such a big presence, then its financial services arm really does not need anyone else. And particularly for Tata Group, when a business group has such a vast presence across industries like the Tata Group has, the real opportunity for a company like Tata Capital really lies within. So, instead of lending primarily to outsiders, if Tata Capital just starts, fulfilling all the loan requirements for all these listed companies of Tata Group, it can really thrive by funding its own group companies. These are well-governed, reliable businesses, and there's certainty of paying interest and fueling growth. So going forward, I think the earnings for the company should keep improving. If you see the earnings for the first quarter of 2026, which is the quarter ended 30th June 2025, the company has reported over 120% jump in its net profit. And right now the company's EPS is about 2.48. So if I consider a full year EPS of about 10, the stock is trading at 790, 800 in the grey market, which is why I said it's trading at a price to earnings multiple of about 80 right now. But I think if the earnings keep improving the rate at which, even if they improve at half the rate at which they're improving, these valuations should be justified. I do believe the company should do its IPO at slightly below the price at which it is trading. Tata Capital has recently merged Tata Motor Finance with itself, and that's not a very big business right now, but going forward that would also have an effect on Tata Capital's EPS, because a lot of the financing for Tata Motors cars, which is done by Tata Motor Finance right now, that revenue will come to Tata Capital. So right now it's not very big, but again, I'll give a disclosure. I'm also positive on Tata Motors as a company because it's a front runner in EVs. I think the sales should do very well from here for the next 5-7 years. So that will also have an impact on Tata Capital's EPS. So again, as I said, it's not very big right now, but in time even that business will grow. So I am actually thinking that the forward PE for Tata Capital should be much more than 2.4, 2.5 EPS per quarter, which the company has right now. So now then, to come to what I said would be the third part that I'll discuss, what I think would be a reasonable valuation where the company should set the price band for. It's a while away, it's towards the end of the month, but I would think that the price band should be something between 600 to 720. And that would be a good price. That, mind you, will not be cheap, will still give the company a price to earnings multiple of 60 to 70. Now, this is entirely my view. I'll give you a disclosure. I don't hold Tata Capital shares either in the grey market. I don't buy into IPOs. SEBI is very strict in terms of giving price targets. I'm just giving you my view. This is not a recommendation on whether you should buy or not. I do also believe that, if it does an IPO in that price band, My sense is that the price should go up far higher from there. That's purely because of the frenzy we've seen around IPOs. While that valuation will be justified, people would probably want to buy this because it's a Tata Group company, and it's a marquee name. It's usually oversubscribed. And oversubscription leads to a premium and appreciation in price after the stock gets listed. Will it cool off after listing? If it goes higher, and how much higher would it list also depends on what the market conditions are when it actually hits the market. If it hits the market in a bullish market, let's say Nifty goes up 10 to 15% from here in the next 2-3 months, it may just fall 10 to 15%, who knows. If it goes up 10 to 15%, let's say it's close to 26,000, my sense is if it does its IPO between 600 to 720, I wouldn't be surprised if it touches the 4-digit mark of 1,000. And would actually be a good time to sell the stock there. But my long-term view on this stock is very, very positive. If you get this stock at a cheaper valuation, or even if you get it in its IPO, it's one of those companies, don't look at the price, hold on to it, because it should do very well going forward.